The female secretary unbuttoned 2 buttons of her top and shortened her skirt by 3 centimeters. Then, looking pleased, she walked into the boss's office. When the boss saw her like this, before he could say anything, the boss's wife rushed in. The female secretary was terrified when she saw the sudden appearance of the boss's wife. She quickly stood up and prepared to leave. The two of them passed each other without even glancing at one another. The woman put the stewed soup on the table, telling the man to have it to build up his strength and perform well at night. Back at home, the woman happily asked the nanny to clean the bedroom thoroughly. She then changed into a sexy dress and played a piece of music with a strong ambient atmosphere. When the husband saw his so charming wife, he couldn't help but swallow hard. The woman thought she had succeeded. She walked over, grabbed her husband's hand, and was about to lead him into the bedroom, but was interrupted by a sudden phone call. The husband told the woman to go to bed first as he still had to work overtime. The woman had no choice but to go back to the room. Angrily, she took off her leopard print nightgown. The next day, when the female secretary was reporting work, she was seen by the boss's wife again. The boss's wife deliberately turned down the air conditioning temperature, making the female secretary shiver with cold. Realizing that the boss's wife was not someone to be trifled with, the female secretary left. The woman hadn't been intimate with her husband for many days. She sat on the table and asked her husband to take a look at what was different about her that day. But her husband was only focused on work and perfunctorily replied that she looked nice. The woman held her husband's face and made him look carefully, saying that she had changed to a brand new lipstick shade. Then she leaned in to kiss him. However, the husband was afraid of being seen and pushed her away. The woman told him not to worry as no one would come in. As she spoke, she started to untie her husband's tie. The man looked at the huge floor-to-ceiling window and said that people outside could see them. But the woman just ignored him and her hand continued to move downward. In the stalemate between the two of them, they accidentally fell to the ground. Seeing that her husband still wouldn't be intimate with her, the woman angrily accused him of being unromantic. Then she opened the door and prepared to leave. When the secretary saw her come out, she walked in with the documents in hand and shut the door heavily. The woman was very unhappy to see that her husband was using such a young secretary and started thinking about how to make her quit. In the afternoon, the woman called her husband to ask what they would have for dinner. But the female secretary took the phone away while the man was talking and said that she was going to discuss business with a man at a hotel in the evening. The woman naturally didn't believe it, but she was also worried. She waited on the sofa in the lobby in advance. When she saw her husband come in with the female secretary, she immediately got up and followed them. After finding out which floor they were on, she saw the figure of the female secretary. Filled with anger, she picked up the fruit knife on the food cart and rushed over. When the female secretary opened the door and saw it was the boss's wife, she quickly used her foot to block the door. This made the woman extremely angry. At this moment, the female secretary showed a wicked smile and removed her foot from the door, causing the woman to lose her balance and rush in. Inside, it turned out that her husband was chatting with a client.